Hey guys, we are on to lesson 2 with our decimals. Today we're going to be using metric measurements and area models to represent tenths as fractions greater than 1 and decimal numbers. So in the first lesson we were only working with decimals less than 1. Now we're working with decimals greater than 1. So we are going to actually need a centimeter ruler today. So if I forgot to remind you to get one, please pause the video and remind me so I can get those out. If you already have one, then we are ready to get started. Alright, on my board you will see that I have my centimeter ruler. Mine goes to 14 centimeters and it is not to scale, I believe. Okay, I'm just going to be working with less than 6 centimeters. Alright, so what I'd like you to do is, using your pencil and your ruler, you're going to draw a line that measures 2 centimeters. Let's see if I can do this. That was a little long. I'm going to try again. A little long again. I'm going to start at the 2 and maybe go to the 0. Oh my goodness, this is not easy to do on here when you can't see under your finger. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to use a pen instead. That's better. Alright, so I have my 2 centimeters. I'm going to go ahead and kind of mark that off so I know that that was my 2 centimeter line. And then I'm going to write up above here 2 centimeters. Okay, now what I'd like you to do is extend the line 6/10 of a centimeter. Now there's 2 ways you can do this. You can move your ruler and figure out where, add a 6/10 to that, or you can just leave your ruler where it is if you know where 6/10 more is. So if I were to zoom right in on this, okay, 6/10, so thinking right back to fractions, between each one of these we have tenths. Right here would be my 5/10 mark, my halfway mark. So one more of those little tick marks is going to be my 6/10. So let's see if I can extend that to 6/10. Now it's not perfect. It almost looks like it went to 7/10, but that's about as close as I'm going to be able to get. Okay. Up here, I'm going to go ahead and write that I'm adding 6/10 centimeters. What will that equal total? Well, remembering back to fractions, when I add a whole plus a fraction, I can just remove that addition sign. So it's going to be 2 and 6/10 centimeters. That's the total length of my line. Now, we are going to turn that into decimal form. My 2 wholes stays the same, 2 centimeters, plus, but yesterday we learned how to turn fractions into decimals. So that's going to be 0.6, but remember, we still say it as 6/10 centimeters equals. Now this is where it might get a little tricky. My whole is going to go on the left side, and then I'm going to have my decimal, and then I'm going to have my 6. Okay, so that's, remember, these 2 are exactly the same. One is written in fraction form, one is written in decimal form. The way we say this is 2 and 6/10. The trick is to say and when you see a decimal point. 2 and 6/10. When you get to this spot, you're going to say tenths because it's in the tenths place. THS, tenths. Practice saying that. 2 and 6/10. Okay. Let's look at what this would look like on our area models. Okay, so if we forgot to get you a template, you're going to have to pause and quickly draw up 3 of these area models. They each are broken into tenths. So you'll need to draw 9 lines in each one. All right. We're going to be working with that same number, 2 6/10. So if I asked you, let me go ahead and write that at the top here. 2 6/10. If I asked you how many tenths are in 2 wholes, hopefully you'd be able to tell me that there are 20 tenths, right? 20 tenths would make 2 wholes. And then how many tenths would be in 2 6/10? Well, that's the same as saying 20 tenths plus 6/10 equals a total of 26/10. So if I wanted to shade that much on my area models, I would need to shade 26/10. Well, there's 10, 20, 30. So how many wholes would that make? Well, if we go right back to the original fraction, it was 2 wholes. So I can go ahead and just shade in. There's 1 whole. Here's 2 wholes. But remember, it was 2 6/10, 2 wholes and 6/10. So if you just think of this like fractions, this is going way back to fractions. This is easy peasy stuff. 2 wholes and 6/10. So that I do not need to shade a full 10/10. I only need to shade 6/10. I'm going to go ahead and label this as 1 whole, and then down here, I'm only shading 6/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Okay, so that's how we would show it in our tape diagram, or our area models. Now the way we break this down is we say, well, 2 6/10 is the same as 2 plus 6/10. And then we go ahead and start converting that into decimal form, which is the same as 2 plus 6/10 in decimal form, which is the same as 2 and 6/10. Now, if you think about it, that's the same way we say a fraction. If I asked you guys to read this for me, you would say 2 6/10. Same thing here, 2 6/10. We say and at the decimal point. We say tenths because it's in the tenths place. Okay, on the problem set, it's going to have you do these same steps, okay, starting with number 2. At the top of the problem set, you are going to need a ruler. It might be a little challenging to do this on the iPad with a ruler, so just do your best, but maybe you can check in with a neighbor to see if you think that you are at least within close range. Okay guys, good luck.